G'day, I'm TEC MAN Coman here, and I'm joined by a very special guest, Mr. Jeff Burch from AMX. And Jeff is here to show us a introductory look. No one's seen this quite yet. So this is brand new product from AMX called AMX Muse. Jeff, what have you got? This is a great, exciting launch that you're about to tell us about.
It is groundbreaking. And you know, AMX has been in the control business for 40 years. We've had our 40-year anniversary. We've had a lot of big breakthroughs in AV control space. This is another big breakthrough. NetLinks was a massive improvement in the way people could program in AV. This is a whole new leap forward in our control platform. And it is in three major ways. It's the three things that really make the Muse platform special: is flexibility, capability, and security. Now, I want to say right now that NetLinks is not going away. NetLinks is fantastic. We've got thousands and thousands of loyal customers out there. We have over 2 million NetLinks controllers deployed around the world. That is still a viable product. That's still going to be shipping. This is not a replacement. We've just gone from having one control platform to now having two control platforms.
And what's the difference between those two control platforms? Why the change?
And they're really night and day, right? NetLinks is a complete closed ecosystem. You have to use our tools. You have to use NetLinks Studio. You have to use TP5 for our touch panel designs. It's all very much proprietary. And when you want to learn how to code NetLinks, we are the only place you can come to learn NetLinks. Coding languages and development environments have evolved greatly in the last 20 years, 10 years even, right? So this is all about leveraging what all the new great tools and languages are available out there. So Muse is not our own proprietary language. You can actually code in any of three different languages. You can code in Python, you can code in JavaScript, and you can code in Groovy. Groovy is pretty much Java, just some wrappers around it to make it a little more script-like. But you can write in any of those. You can write in all three of those. You can have all three of those running on the box simultaneously. You can have multiple scripts running side by side. You can start them, stop them, debug them, modify them, swap them out, all independently. So you could have 10 scripts running, decide you just need to change one. You change one, restart the script. A second later, that's up and running, and you haven't touched any of the other scripts. So we leverage all of that capability of Python. We don't have to be the innovators of the language. You have a lot of people out there that are already innovating and making Python fantastic, making Java fantastic. So we wanted to grab that. In addition, with NetLinks, you have to use NetLinks Studio. It was a great development environment 20 years ago. It's not that great of a development environment, honestly, given all the advancements there. So you can use any development environment that you want. You can use Visual Studio Code. You can use PyCharm. You can use whatever you like. If you use VS Code, we have an extension out of the box that makes VS Code a little bit more useful, where you discover the devices, all the controllers that are on there. You can load the code and the scripts restart automatically when you load them and things like that. So you get some benefit of a sort of integrated development environment that knows already something about Muse. But you can use any development environment you want. You can code a Notepad if you want and get things over. So really, really flexible. But we even went one step further because we also offer a low-code, no-code visual scripting language built in. Just like with Python, JavaScript, Groovy, we didn't invent our own. We went with one of the best out there, and that's Node-RED. So we have a Node-RED tool. We use standard Node-RED. We've augmented it with a few of our own nodes that know something also about what Muse is and what Muse can do, so that you can drag those in there and have a completely fully automated control system with nothing but drag and drop. And it is in parallel with all the rest of the scripts. So it's a really great potential for you to do your coding in a segmented way, where you could have 3 or 4 or 5 or 7 different programmers all working on different areas in their own scripts in different programming languages. And then you could have the person who really knows how the user wants to interact with the space over in Node-RED potentially. They're not the hard-nosed coders that want to learn all the typing sequences. So they can interact with these other scripts. They can put all of the little lines in the nodes together to say, this happens, then this happens, then this happens. Really easy to go in and change. So
it sounds like you really simplified the whole programming process. And, you know, that was one thing I never really understood was why is programming so difficult? Why do we as an industry, as an AV industry, make it so difficult and restrictive almost? Like, why can't we open it up so anyone can really program these systems?
That's exactly what we're trying to do with this, right? If you're looking at the, you know, there are kids taking programming classes in primary school now, right? Yeah. But they're not learning NetLinks.
Yes, of course.
They're not learning how to do AV programming, right? They're learning things like Python. They're learning things like JavaScript. So, you know, that's one of the real benefits is now when you are looking for a coder in your industry to come work for you, to do AV coding, the world's your oyster. You know, certainly you can find a Python or a JavaScript or a Java programmer somewhere.
Absolutely.
So.
And are you partnering with anybody else? Like we're seeing a lot of you know, like other systems, you know, like an integration with Cisco and Poly and things like that. Are you working on, have you partnered or are you working on anything behind the scenes where you can partner with those companies to utilize, because let's face it, a lot of these systems, we have Cisco WebEx solutions and Poly solutions, there's already a touch panel in the room. How do we leverage that touch panel? Is that something that you'll be able to interface with?
Yes, there's several answers to that question. The Varia Touch Panel is already in a position to take standard Android apps already, and we've already partnered with a number of companies that are developing apps for that. But from a you know, partnership, AMX has been partnering with manufacturers of various equipment for, you know, our whole life, and we've developed a huge library of device drivers called our Duet modules. So we didn't feel it was right to come out with a bunch of Muse controller boxes and then have them just look like a blank sheet of paper and start from scratch, you know, you're all on your own. So all of those Duet modules are functional on the new Muse boxes. Even though they don't run NetLinks, they still use all the Duet modules. All the IR files that we've captured over the last 20 years are all things that and we develop those modules and capture those IR files in close combination with the various manufacturers. They loan us gear and we check them out. We have some manufacturers that write their own modules for us. So, so yeah, that goes to really the capability that's inside the box that we're able to leverage all of those tools that we already have. In addition to that, the new Muse boxes work with all of the existing AMX devices out there. So if you already have AMX touch panels, AMX keypads, AMX EXB extension boxes, these have the ICSP, the NetLinks ICSP stack built into them. So this is a Varia panel running in the G5 persona, and it gets discovered by these Muse boxes just like they would from a NetLinks box. So
it's all backward compatible. So even though you're kind of really starting from scratch, you're making sure that you're supporting the legacy products and systems.
Yes, so ICSP and HiQNet. So if you're using any of the legacy HiQNet devices in BSS and Crown, for example, this natively talks directly to HiQNet devices. So we got a lot of capability there. And then lastly, security, right? Our NetLinks controllers.
That's a big thing. Honestly,
it's huge.
Yeah, I know with the clients that we deal with, security is everything. And especially now that we're dealing more and more with converged networks, like fully converged networks, where the client doesn't have this shadow network, AV network on the side anymore. It sits on our network. We're going to manage it. But at the same time, it has to meet those very, very high security standards just to get on their network.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. And the NetLinks controllers that we have run on a secure Linux. Those NetLinks controllers have been US JITC certified from some time ago. They just renewed JITC certification some time ago. They are actually accredited and certified for use in the Australian Department of Defence, the only control system that is. So we have been one of the most secure control systems for at least a decade. And all the things we learned in developing the most secure platforms that you can create have also all gone into Muse. So we're leveraging all of that secure platform from NX and augmenting it with additional libraries, updated encryption methodologies and all of that. So this will continue that legacy of being the most secure control system appliance that you can get.
Yeah. Well, this is really exciting news because just here in Australia, AMX used to dominate the market. It really did. And so much so, the first Infocom I went to, I was talking to people expecting that AMX ruled the world, and it was like, no, like in Australia, like it really, really dominated Australia. The team did a fantastic job getting the product out there. And that's what I started with AMX. And it was, you know, to see it over time, you know, sort of being pushed further back, you know, behind the scenes with the different acquisitions, it was kind of sad. But now it's great that it's coming back because it was such a great product. It is such a great product. Yeah. You know, so to be back in the limelight and for you guys to be making new products and solutions, the industry needs it. Yeah. It really needs it.
And you know, the HARMAN acquisition, I know from the outside, you know, it's hard to tell what's going on. Yeah. There was a lot of rework and a lot of sort of reorganization, but I'll tell you, HARMAN has really supported AMX in a huge way as a brand, to the point where you know, they acquired us for our control capabilities, and so Muse as a control platform is not just the control platform for these boxes. Yeah. AMX Muse platform is the control platform going forward for all of HARMAN Pro products. So as we come out with new DSPs and amplifiers and keypads or what have you that need some level of control in them, they're going to have Muse control in them. So you know, there's going to be a time not too far in the future where you'll be able to get a BSS DSP, an Avaria touch panel, do all the control and all the DSP, all you need right there, without even having to put a separate AMX control system in the box. So we have become the control platform for all of HARMAN.
Yep. That's awesome. That's really exciting. It's really good to see AMX back in the spotlight. It really is. Jeff, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it. For people who want to actually find out more information about AMX Muse, which is, how can they get that information? Where's the best place to go?
Yeah, the best place to go is amx.com. Go to your local sales rep. That's really the best place to get all the information you need.
Okay, fantastic. Well, thank you very much, Jeff. We really appreciate it. And you guys should check out AMX Muse and head to amx.com.